What's going on, guys? Aero here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about a potential leak for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Now this is definitely a leak that I know a lot of you guys will be interested in, as it involves the starter Pokemon and potentially knowing about what their evolutions are going to be like. Now before we do take a look at this leak, I just want to quickly let you guys know that this isn't confirmed information, this isn't like guaranteed to be real, but I know a lot of you guys were sending this to me on Twitter saying, Aero, give me your thoughts on this, what do you think about this leak, could these actually be the starter evolutions for Pokemon Sword and Shield starters, and I figured it was kind of interesting and I do want to give you guys my thoughts on it, because there are certain things about this leak that line up with stuff that's happened in the past before, and I figured it would just be good to talk to you guys about it, so yeah, let's get started. Now the first thing that I want to do is actually take a quick trip down memory lane back to when Pokemon Sun and Moon were still about to come out, and if you guys remember that hype period, there was actually one big leak that happened for Pokemon Sun and Moon. And the crazy thing about this leak was that there was actually a huge image, and I'll have that image put up on screen for you guys right now. And so this was an image that came out for Pokemon Sun and Moon claiming to be the starter evolutions, and this came out literally a few weeks after the starters were even revealed for the first time. So just a couple of weeks after knowing about Litten, Popplio, and Rowlet, this image surfaced on the internet, and people were claiming that these were going to be the final evolutions of the starter Pokemon. And so when this leak first came out, of course nobody was believing it, everybody was saying like this is fake, there's no way it's real, it doesn't seem like Game Freak style, I don't think that this is actually what the starter evolutions are going to be like. Of course nobody believed it, but now that the games are out and now that we know about the Pokemon, you can see that these are very well in fact Incineroar, Decidueye, and Primarina. And the thing about this leak is that it actually ended up getting more and more credible as we got new information about Pokemon Sun and Moon, because you can see here that the style that's drawn for every single starter is that it's showing you like different angles of the Pokemon, it's showing you like the signature things that it has, like how Incineroar's got that fire belt and Decidueye's got the special arrows that it uses with its bow that it makes from its wing, so it shows you like the cool things about each starter evolution. But we can also see that there's like characters that you can see on top of them. You can see like, you know, Incineroar's obviously got Ash and Pikachu there, but there's also new characters that weren't officially revealed that were part of this concept art. And so once like new characters started getting revealed in trailers like Mallow, people were able to point out Mallow inside of this concept art and say like, look, you can definitely tell that that's Mallow, she's got the flower on her head, her hair looks exactly like how it does in the trailer. And so once people started catching those things, they were starting to realize that yeah, a lot of the stuff is lining up here and maybe in fact these are going to be real. And so here are the ones that we got right now for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, and you can see that these are very well trying to replicate that same style that was in that previous leak with Pokemon Sun and Moon. Obviously once that started coming out, now people are going to try to replicate that. So if this is a fake, obviously that person is trying to replicate that style of, you know, having the red confidential box and having like different angles of all the starter evolutions. But I figured we'd take a look at this and I'll just give you guys my thoughts on it. So the first one that we have here is Grookey's final evolution, and we can definitely see that this has a very feminine type of design to it. It looks pretty interesting. I mean, we can see here that it's got like a flute that it can play, so it definitely seems to be going off of like that musical style that people have been speculating. So it does seem like an interesting Pokemon. I mean, when Grookey was first revealed in the trailer, Grookey was hitting a rock with a stick, and everybody thought like, okay, it definitely has some type of musical theme that goes with it, and so this would definitely fit it. I mean, the final evolution supposedly is going to be playing the flute. It definitely does have like that feminine design like I said, and overall it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of like what I thought it was going to be anyway, just turned into a big monkey. So yeah, pretty cool design. Then the next one that we have here is for Scorbunny's final evolution, and I do really like this design for Scorbunny's final evolution as well. You can definitely see that it looks like it's going to be a really speedy type of Pokemon. I mean, there's even like that one part of the concept art that shows like fire coming out of its tail and it's like running really fast, so maybe that's going to help it run really fast or something, so that looks cool. It seems like it's going to stand on 2 legs, which is pretty interesting as well. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I guess, you know, Scorbunny was standing on 2 legs, so it makes sense. I mean, I think some people were just expecting or hoping for a fire type starter evolution to finally stand on all 4 legs. I mean, I guess Typhlosion kind of does that, but people were really hoping for one that stands on all 4s, because we have Torterra with like grass types, and then we have Samurott with water types, but we don't have like an actual starter Pokemon final evolution that stands on all 4s at all times. Typhlosion kind of counts, but it's not really like one that always is like that, so I think some people were hoping that Scorbunny's final evolution was going to be like that, but from this concept art, it does seem like it's still going to be standing on 2 legs. And actually, if we look a little bit further into Scorbunny's Final Evolutions concept art, we can see that on the hands, there's actually like a pentagon shape that's on the palm, and there's actually a little icon here that shows like there's lightning bolts or shocks coming out of it. So that kind of makes you wonder, is this kind of hinting that it's going to be a fire and electric type? Because that would be really cool if Scorbunny's Final Evolution ended up becoming a fire and electric type. I mean, obviously ground would destroy it, like this thing would be gone with one earthquake, but I think it would be really cool to just have a fire and electric type starter evolution as like the final stage, because that's never been done before. I don't think we even have a fire and electric type Pokemon. Actually, we have Rotom, but I mean, besides that, we don't really have any other normal Pokemon, let alone a starter, so that would be really cool to get. I mean, it would be a very interesting type combo, especially like how last time when we got Decidueye and it turned out to be a ghost and grass type, that was really cool, so having an electric and fire type starter evolution would just be amazing. And finally, we have Sobble's Final Evolution right here, and I'm a pretty big fan of this design as well. I really do like it. It's got like a really offensive looking design, especially with that long pointed tail. It looks like it's going to be like an attacking type of Pokemon, and in fact, all these final starter evolutions definitely seem like they're all going to be on the offensive side. They all look really like light and kind of speedy type of attacking Pokemon. None of them actually look like they're going to be big and bulky or tanky, so I do like the style for all of them. They all look like they're going to be fast, powerful, offensive Pokemon. Now the cool thing about Pokemon Sword and Shield is that we actually have one leak so far that has gotten pretty much every single thing correct, and this was a leak that came out literally months before the official Pokemon Direct that even happened that revealed all of this, and so I'll put that leak up on screen for you guys. I have made a video about it where I've actually gone into detail about everything, but this is basically the leak right here, and like I said, this came out in May of this year before we knew about anything, and this has information about Bede and Marnie, it has information about Team Yell, it has information about Pokemon that we didn't even know about like Wooloo, and it has stuff about the gym leaders like Milo and Nessa, so a lot of this stuff has been correct. And basically the thing is, it even talks about what the final evolutions of the starters are like. And so if we read down here, it says Scorbunny will have fighting moves, but it is pure fighter. Now the thing about this is that this leak is correct. It has a lot of accurate information, but this person has kind of written it really sloppily, and there's a lot of errors and things in here. Like one thing it talks about is a new Pokemon called Pamper, and it's talking about how it's an electric corgi Pokemon, which is obviously referring to Yamper, which is like the official name of it, but they wrote Pamper inside of the leak here. So there's little typos and things like that. And so for Scorbunny, it says it's a pure fighter. Now I don't know if that means it's going to be a pure fighting type, because that just wouldn't make sense. Like, why would a fire starter evolve into just a pure fighting type by its final stage? It could mean that maybe it's going to be a firefighting, which I know would disappoint a lot of people, myself included. I don't want another firefighting Pokemon, but maybe it means like it's going to have fighting type moves, but it's going to be a pure fire type Pokemon, which if that turns out to be the case, I wouldn't be all that disappointed. A pure fire type Pokemon would be fine. I mean, you know, we've had Typhlosion and Pokemon like that, so it's fine if it's a pure fighter, or a pure fire, I mean. It says it evolves into Reboot, but I don't remember the final evolution, except that it looks like a fighter, it looks humanoid. And I mean, if we do take a look at the leak that I just showed you guys, the Scorbunny final evolution does kind of resemble a human. It stands on two legs, it does look kind of humanoid, so yeah, it seems like that could very well be true. Now going into Sobble, it says here that Sobble evolves into Sisile and then Inteleon, a chameleon with a spy-like theme. And so if we look at the Sobble one, that kind of seems like it also makes sense as well. I mean, it definitely seems like it's going to be a sneaky, aggressive kind of type of Pokemon. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a tanky Pokemon. Definitely seems like it could be a spy-like Pokemon, like a quick kind of sneaky type of Pokemon, kind of like Greninja. So I could see that happening. The only one that doesn't seem to make sense is the one for Grookey. And so if we go off of the leak here, for Grookey, it says that Grookey is going to end up as a giant gorilla that beats a wooden drum to attack. And if we look at our leak here, then obviously we can see that this does not look anywhere close to a gorilla. It doesn't even have a wooden drum, it has a flute. So that's like the only thing here that actually kind of messes up everything in accordance to this leak right here. So if this information that we know about is true, then maybe in fact that this image leak here of the starter evolutions could be fake, because we already know here that like everything in this leak pretty much for Sword and Shield has ended up becoming true. It predicted Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing. I mean, Bede and Marnie, your rival's name is Hop. Like, there's so much accurate information in here that like this is the leak that we always come back to check. Anytime there's new information about Sword and Shield, we come back and see if it was in here, just like we did with the Bede and Marnie trailer, and sure enough, that all ended up being true. So the thing with the final evolutions for the starter Pokemon is that it says here that for Grookey it's going to be beating a wooden drum, which doesn't seem to match up with the image, so maybe that image could be fake. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, but it is a very good image. Like, I do like the style and everything for all those starter evolutions. I wouldn't mind if they did end up being true, but yeah, that's gonna do it for that image. And so there you go, guys. Those are apparently the starter leaks that we have right now for Pokemon Sword and Shield starters. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to click that like button and also comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this. Do you guys think that these are real? Do you think that they're fake? Would you be happy if they were real? How do you think about the leaks in accordance to what it's talking about with the leak that we have for confirmed information? Would you be happy if Grookey ends up becoming like this big gorilla that uses a wooden drum? If Sobble ends up having like a Spy Lake theme with Inteleon? And if Scorbunny's final evolution is going to be a pure fire type? Would you be happy with all of that? Definitely be sure to let me know down below. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. Definitely gonna have some more Pokemon content in the future, so please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become a part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.